Hey everyone, and welcome back to Dawn of the Nerds. I'm your host Charlie, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to unlock the jet gun in Liberty Falls on Black Ops 6. So the Easter eggs have literally just been activated. I think it was about 6 o'clock they were activated, so obviously spent time trying to figure out how to actually unlock everything. We've unlocked the Thunder Gun so far. It's one of the first ones we've unlocked on Liberty Falls. It seems to be one of the easier Easter eggs out of the two. Terminus is very convoluted, which is good because it's been a while since we've had that. But at the beginning of Liberty Falls, you will need to make your way to the bowling alley. The first area you need to unlock is the bowling alley. After the bowling alley, you need to make your way through to the bank. And over by the flower shop, there is a little water valve that you need to collect. After collecting this, you need to head your way back to the bowling alley because this is where the first part of your quest for unlocking the jet gun actually takes place. When you make your way into the actual bowling alley itself, on the right-hand wall, as you go in down Liberty Lanes, you'll notice there's a machine on the side that you will need to shoot. Once you've shot the cover off, you'll be able to attach the water valve to it. And once the water valve is attached, you will then have to start building up the water pressure. Now, this part can get stupidly tricky. Okay? It takes a while, and there are a lot, as you can see on the screen now, a lot of zombies that continuously respawn. So once you've done all that, the water valve will obviously finish and it will drop a part, which is the water pressure gauge. And that is for obviously the jet gun. That's the gauge that we get on the jet gun. After this, you can make your way up to the church. You're going to have to open up the church and initiate the first part of the Easter egg, where you activate the big machine in there. I'll show you again later. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to go and open up the radio shop. And for that, we need to get to round 11 and get a mangler. Once you've unlocked a mangler, inside the radio shop, it might look like there's nothing in there. I promise you there is. On the floor, inside the radio shop, there are stacks of like rubbish and garbage that's just all kind of stuck together on the floor. You can investigate those. And when you investigate those, sometimes you'll get an enemy that might pop out. You won't get a prompt. That's the other thing. You have to look really carefully because you won't get a prompt, but they are just like piles of rubbish on the floor. And inside one of those is the wiring that we need for the jet gun. It's the electrical wires. And that takes us on to the last step, which is up in the church. And some of you may have seen this part before, but to actually do it, you need to activate the big machine that's in the room. So depending on what round you're on, this machine over here, when you go over to it and hold square, okay, it will trigger a massive whiteout of the screen. And obviously once the whiteout of the screen has happened, you'll see kind of you've initiated the first part of the actual Easter egg for Liberty Falls. The jet gun is more of a side quest. And then obviously Panos will kind of do his little conversation and he'll kind of finish everything he's saying. It's quite interesting. You do need to listen carefully because he kind of guides you a little bit in what you're meant to do for the actual Easter egg. But when you're in here, depending on what round you're on, be careful because it can get quite busy. You don't want to be in a position where you're like, oh my God, we're getting overrun, which can happen and does happen quite a lot. Obviously, we were in round 17 by the point we got to this, obviously figuring out the parts we needed, but we got there in the end. Once you've activated that part, Panos has finished talking and he's done what he needed to do. Once his conversation is completely finished, you need to make your way outside to the graveyard. Now, the reason we're in the graveyard is because we're looking for someone called the groundskeeper. Now, the groundskeeper will only spawn once. Here he is here. He will only spawn once you've initiated that conversation with Panos. Okay? And at that point, you get given the groundskeeper's key, which is a tool shed key, which is where we find the last part for our jet gun. So as you can see from where I am on the screen now, I'm going to go and revive my teammates because that's always beneficial. They both went down outside the church. But as you come out of the church, if you're coming out of the church from the side of the graveyard, you want to chuck a left, start heading down the street as if you're heading towards the bank, and then take the first left. So you can see here now, head down the street, go down that first left, down the back alleys, and you'll see this tool shed at the back. You need to hold square on it. You will not, again, get a prompt for this. So make sure you obviously go up to it and hold square. If you've got the groundskeeper's keys, the tool shed keys, that will unlock. And at which point you can make your way back to the hotel. You can go whichever way you want through the bank, round the sides, past the comic book shop. Completely up to you. Whatever way round you get to it, you need to make your way back to the motel itself. Once you get to the motel, we're going to go to the room where we initiated the jet gun quest to begin with, which is the room that's on the top floor of the motel. So when you get to the top floor of the motel, you'll go up the stairs, the same room where all the zombies burst out the door and kind of all come into you and start taking over. Okay, you go into that room, you hold square, you craft it, and that is literally the job done. You have successfully crafted the jet gun. Now, the jet gun has two different modes of firing as well. It has the alternate fire where it sucks up all the zombies, and then it has the primary fire where it just blows out everything. Okay, it does automatically kind of like refill itself a little bit. It takes time if it does that, as you can see now. Massive blast, but then that's all the ammo gone for it. So you have to kind of wait for it to cool down. So there are benefits to it, and there are obviously negative effects here. You can see in a minute. I'm going to use the suction, the alternate fire, and you can just see everything just gets sucked up into it. It's quite cool. It's an interesting gun. Quite good when it's pack-a-punched. And other than that, guys, I hope you guys find that useful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. We're going to have some more Call of Duty Zombies and Call of Duty Black Ops videos. We're going to do some more of the campaign, things like that. Some of the trophies that are scattered throughout the game. And I'll see you guys then. Take care. Have a good one.